Good morning and welcome to your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. Clouds are building in out there as we have a cold front approaching from our northwest. It's going to bring us a chance of precipitation this afternoon into the evening hours. Likely starting off as rain and then transitioning into a wintry mix as we get into the evening. If we take a look at the surface analysis right now, we can see that front draped across our area and moving southeast. Uh, you can see the precipitation behind the front and along the front that will be impacting our area in the coming hours. If we take a look at the balloon sounding from this morning, we can see winds near the surface out of the west-southwest at about 31-35 knots and becoming more southwesterly as we go up to about 25,000 feet and increasing in speed up to about 68 knots. And the freezing level is currently at 8,100 feet. So if we take a look at the current radar and satellite imagery, we can see that front approaching and getting closer to Wallops and as well as the associated precipitation. We should see that arriving here uh, likely around noon or early afternoon, and then it should, for the most part, remain rain and then transition over as the cold air catches up uh, late afternoon into the early evening hours. So if we take a look at the short-term model, we can see that front approaching, staying mostly as rain, and then about 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. or 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. is transitioning over to snow and possibly lingering around into the early morning Saturday hour or Friday morning hours. I'll take a look at the long-term model and what's to come. So we see the starting Friday, that low pressure system starts to build off to our south and moves into the area, bringing us another round of precipitation likely uh, Friday evening and early Saturday morning. Expecting some accumulation at this time with this storm as models are starting to come into a little bit better agreement, but we'll still keep an eye on it and see kind of how much we end up expecting. After that storm starts to move out on Saturday, we get into a slightly quieter pattern, but cold nonetheless, uh, as we move into the beginning of next week. And then our next chance of precip looks to be around the Tuesday evening into Wednesday morning time frame. But we'll see how that plays out as it gets closer to that day. So taking a look at the 24-hour weather risk, again starting off as rain as we move into the early afternoon and then transitioning over to snow, likely in the early evening hours, probably after sunset. Gusty winds today have a chance of hitting that wind advisory criteria, um, and with the precipitation, we could see ceilings fall and visibilities begin to drop as the precipitation gets a little bit heavier. So moving to the overnight hours, remaining cloudy, and we'll see temperatures drop after the precipitation tapers off, and we'll get down into the low 20s. Looking at the 7-day forecast, we can see a mix of rain and snow today, high of 51, which was actually earlier this morning, but we can see the temperatures out there right now starting to drop. This evening again in the 20s. Tomorrow we'll see a pretty chilly day, highs up in the 30s, and then as that snow moves in overnight, expecting some accumulation, and we'll see lows in the 20s on Saturday morning. Most of the precipitation should be out of the area by afternoon Saturday, but otherwise mostly cloudy, and again another cold day with that snow cover kind of keeping things chilly. And then Saturday evening into Sunday morning, we'll see a low of 19 degrees. Sunday, we'll see it again cold and mostly cloudy, um, high of 38. And Monday, we'll see it a little bit more likely more sunshine, and a high of 42 and a low of 22. As we move out into Tuesday and Wednesday, we see expecting some clouds to build in and maybe a chance of another round of precip, but we'll have to see how that plays out. High of in the mid to upper 40s and lows in the low 30s. So before we conclude the briefing, we'll take a look at our latest winter products. This is the map for today's event, that we have approaching for this evening. Expecting some accumulations around 1 to 2 inches, kind of broadly over the area, depending on when the rain transitions over to snow and how long it lingers around for. So we'll see those temperatures quickly fall as the front begins to pass, and this could cause some icy conditions on the road uh, late this afternoon into evening, and possibly for the early morning hours on Friday. Looking out to our next weather system, likely to impact the area beginning at about 8 o'clock, around the hours of 8 o'clock p.m. local time tomorrow evening into the early morning hours of Saturday. This has the potential to be more significant for the southern parts of the Delmarva Peninsula. We'll see chances of some higher totals down towards the tip, and then in the Wallops area, we're looking at likely 2 to 4 inches, and then a quick gradient tapering off as you approach the north-northwest of the peninsula, down to about 1 to 2 in the Salisbury area and surrounding area as well, and then down to less than an inch north of that. So again, there'll be a sharp gradient with this snowfall, as most of it will be confined to the south and towards the coast. Likely see some snow-covered roads, some hazardous driving conditions, and uh, as we approach getting closer to when the system impacts our area, we should see more agreement, more confidence build with the latest guidance. That concludes your 10 a.m. Wallops weather briefing. Keep an eye out for additional winter products as we continue to put them out, and we'll be back again tomorrow morning at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Have a nice day.